accommodating me, and I will just be 2 minutes. Mr. Speaker, yesterday we spent the better part with a very hard-working minister called Cabinet Secretary Malonza. Penina Malonza, Mr. Speaker, toured the entire Tana River, all the 3 constituencies, and we were accompanied by the area members of parliament, distributing food, Mr. Speaker, to various places. So I want to stand here to say that I am very happy with the work that some of our female ministers are doing in the cabinet of William Ruto. Mr. Speaker, as compared to CS Machogu, who has never stepped in Tana River County, I wonder what is happening with the Ministry of Education. We went to several camps, Mr. Speaker, and the minister herself was almost in tears, Mr. Speaker, because at least 30 schools have been swallowed up in the constituency of Garsen alone. In Makere Milelulu, the school is being broken. If you go to a place like Mgarashi, Mr. Speaker, you will find this entire villages, Mr. Speaker, have been buried. But Machogu has never found time to come to Tana River. Mr. Speaker, it is wrong for cabinet secretaries to operate on theory when the country is suffering as it is. So, Mr. Speaker, I take this opportunity to tell Bwana Machogu, please wake up and come to Tana River County. We are suffering and we need the...
Senator Mungatana, I'll want you 1 minute, but first listen to me. I'll want you 1 minute. So have your seat, because I want to give you some advice. Of course, Senator Mungatana, you know how to get the CSs in this floor anytime you need them. So I will request that if there are issues in Tana River, kindly make sure that you do a question very fast for the CS to appear before the Senate, so that, because now he has no advantage of coming to this floor. So I might decline that 1 minute, Senator Mungatana, because you shouldn't be attentive to the chair and listen to my advice. So don't mention the CSM because you have powers to bring him to this Senate. Proceed, 1 minute.
Mr. Speaker, I'm just saying, here is a minister who is aware of the disaster, and I'm not mentioning any names. He's aware of the disaster that is affecting the education sector. And he's not bothered to come to Tana River County. And yet, there is another cabinet fellow who is moving day and night, Mr. Speaker, to assist us. So, Mr. Speaker, I am urging that the Ministry of Education should wake up. Our children are having a problem, yes, and they should wake up.
What is your point of order?
Mr. Speaker, I'm standing under point order number 1. And Mr. Speaker, I just want to plead with the chair that, Mr. Speaker...
Sorry, Senator Eddy, do you have powers to exercise order number 1 yourself?
To issue courage to, Mr. Speaker. And also under 101 in the speaker, in the content of speech of my colleague, Senator Mungatana. You see, Mr. Speaker, the issue of flood that we are discussing, Mr. Speaker, some of these things, the ultimate interventions lie with the cabinet secretaries, and to some extent what Senator Chage has said, executives in the counties. If we don't call them out on this floor, just because we are waiting for them to be called out during questions, Mr. Speaker, we are doing a disservice to them, not even to us. Because if you don't question them in the laziness that they are having on serious issues that are affecting this county, Mr. Speaker, I'm just requesting you to allow Senator Mungatana to call out these ministers, to call them out
Senator
for
Mungatana,
not effectively taking their role in responding to this crisis. Because if you stifle that conversation on
Senator
Mungatana...
Senator Eddy, you have made your point.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Senator Mungatana, conclude.
I'm concluding, Mr. Speaker, by saying we appreciate the work some of the cabinet secretaries are doing. But we please want to ask some of the other cabinet secretaries who are sitting in Nairobi, please come out. Education, education, education. Please come out and visit and tell us what we shall do with the children who are in camps. Come with canvas, because the teachers are ready. By the way, I congratulate teachers who are working in these hardship areas. They are ready, they have come, but they cannot, you cannot do anything under the circumstances that the children are. We want to ask for the cabinet secretary to use the power and his authority to make sure that those areas that have camps, that the children are having education under at least those matarbales, so that the teachers who are ready to teach can go and occupy these children. Otherwise, Mr. Speaker, we shall lose a whole generation, Mr. Speaker. I thank you.
Thank you. Let's go to the statements under 53.1.